Good morning, class. First thing we're going to do this morning is a quick vocabulary review test. But don't worry, it's not a vocabulary test grade, it's just a little review. I'm going to put the definitions and the vocabulary words up on the board, and your job is to match the definition with the word. Now, there's going to be 2 or 3 words that are not spelled correctly, and it's your job to find them, spell them properly, and make sure to circle them on your paper so you remember which ones they were. Alright, now that everybody is done, let's go over it as a class. Hand your paper to your grading partner and we will begin. Number 1 was to want to have or achieve something. The correct answer is aspire. This was spelled correctly. For example, we all know that Stephanie aspires to be an actress one day, which is why she's so big into the drama club. Aspire. Number 2, to come at a later or to happen as to come at a later time or to happen as a result. Does anyone want to answer? Correct, ensue. And is it spelled correctly? Very good job, it is proper. For example, punishment ensues when there's a lack of rule following in the classroom, and I would remember that. Number 3, to notice or become aware of. Everyone together, perceived, correct. Is it spelled right? I'm seeing some of you say yes and some of you say no. It is not spelled correctly. You have to remember the old I before E except after C saying. Perceived is actually P-E-R-C-E-I-V-E-D. Sound, sight, touch, taste, and hearing are senses that are perceived. Number 4, to make someone happy or satisfied. The correct answer was gratify. And is gratify spelled correctly? Very good. Number 5, information, understanding, or skill that you get from education or experience. Anyone? Knowledge. Is it spelled correctly? No, it's not. And what's wrong with it? Exactly. Knowledge is one of those tricky words that has a K in the beginning. Remember the KN words we went over just a few weeks ago, and if you do remember those, you will have a knowledge of them. Alright, number 6, the size, extent, or importance of something. Altogether, magnitude. And it's spelled? Good job. Even though it sounds like it's magnitude, it is actually magnitude. There's an I in there, not another A. The magnitude of failing this test may be scary if you haven't studied yet. Finally, number 7 is to separate something from something larger. And the answer is detach, and it is spelled correctly. When you take, let's say, a boat and you take it off of a trailer hitch, you are detaching it. Very good. As you all know, our test on literary analysis will be coming up next Friday, so make sure to put a note in your planner. No one is excused from this test unless you have previously made arrangements with me, and if for whatever reason you are out, if you're sick or whatever happens, make sure your parents give me a call so we can do a makeup test next week at some point. Now, today we will be using our literary analysis to look into different parts of poetry. The poem will be Kidnap Poem by Nikki Giovanni. I'll put up the poem on the board as well as the parts of literary analysis as a refresher, and we will go over it together before and after. Now for this project, I want you to break up into your reading groups. Being able to bounce ideas off of one another, and giving your perspective to each other may help you see parts of the poem from a different viewpoint that you didn't have before. You might be able to find symbolism or theme or anything that you did not notice, but someone else in your group may. I'm going to leave both of these slides up on the projector while you work so you can reference them, but the material can also be found in your textbook on page 39 and Kidnap Poem by Nikki Giovanni. Remember to pay very close attention to all the little aspects of literary analysis while I read this. There's no misspellings or incorrect punctuation. This poet made certain choices and it's up to you to figure out why she made them. Okay, Kidnap Poem. Ever been kidnapped by a poet? If I were a poet, I'd kidnap you. Put you in my phrases and meter, you to Jones Beach, or maybe Coney Island, or maybe just to my house. Lyric you in lilacs, dash you in the rain, blend into the beach to complement my sea. Play the lyre for you, ode you with my love song, anything to win you, wrap you in the red, black, green, show you off to mama. Yeah, if I were a poet, I'd kidnap you. Now for the literary analysis, let's go over the parts as a group again. This poem is a great example to use because it covers each section very well. First, we have the theme. The theme is the underlying message about life or human nature that the writer wants the reader to understand. Then there's style. This is the particular way in which a group of literature is written, not what is said, but how it's said. Tone. This is the attitude that the writer takes towards the subject. Figurative language. The language used in an imaginative way to convey ideas that are not literally true. Voice. The writer's unique use of language that allows a reader to hear a human personality in the writer's work. Diction. The writer's choice of words. Diction can make a work sound formal or informal, serious or humorous. Imagery. The words and phrases that appeal to your senses. Now, in your groups, take your poster board and make a section. Put 7 blocks on the left and 7 on the right. In each of the 7 blocks, write one of the literary analysis words. Remember, these are theme, style, tone, figurative language, voice, diction, and imagery. On the right side, you're going to pick the most powerful example you can find and put it in those boxes. Make sure that you're looking at the actual part of literary analysis. If you're looking for something with imagery, it's not that she wants to kidnap you. You're looking for something that really pops out as something that appeals to your senses. I'll be walking around while you're doing this. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Remember, doing this as a group, we all have to get it done. And if we do, we're going to be able to hopefully go outside after the test and do our silent reading then. If it's nice, of course. Everybody that gets this done as a group will get 2 bonus points on their test next Friday, so it is worth your time to do it and make sure you do it correctly.